Hey everyone, welcome back to another Rogue Breakers devlog. Now that I have the ball rolling with most of the core game loop implemented, I thought it would be a good time to start working on a proper sound manager for the game. I started this off by removing all of the pre-existing code that I had to handle playing sound effects, which was just a temporary solution anyway. I then got started on coding a sound manager. I created a public static reference to the sound manager, so I could access it from pretty much anywhere in the game. I then created public references to the different soundtracks I'd need, including the level background, boss fight, level complete, and game over soundtracks. I then started working on a function to play each of the appropriate tracks, so I could call them when needed. When it comes to making music, I'm not the greatest at it, so I recently got in touch with CornBoy, a sound designer and composer who had actually been watching my devlogs, to join me on the project to create music for the game. I asked him to create a little segment for the video about his creative process, and give a bit of an insight as to what he's been working on. So, without any further ado, here's CornBoy.
Hey, I'm CornBoy. Jake brought me on to work on Rogue Breakers as a composer and sound designer after we found each other's videos on YouTube. Which, speaking of, I also make devlogs along with music-related content on my own channel. Each zone in Rogue Breakers will have its own unique theme, as well as a variation of that song for each boss battle, making a total of around a dozen original tracks for the game. Just like the visuals, the music is what I'd like to call 8-bit light, meaning all the digital instruments I use are made from basic waveforms that an NES, for an example, could produce, but with the distinction that I'm allowing myself to use more than 4 simultaneous sounds at a time, as well as use high-fidelity filters and other audio effects. To illustrate a quick example of this, here's how I make a chiptune kick drum. I start with a basic sine wave and pitch it way down, then I automate it so that its pitch and volume both drop really quickly. And honestly, just like that, we have a kick drum. It's surprisingly simple. So far, I've started work on 3 tracks: the dungeon theme, the forest boss theme, and the forest level theme, which you've actually been listening to as background music for this segment. They're all still early works in progress, but they're coming along quickly. The time-lapse you're watching is me working on the dungeon theme, which I'm sure you'll get a preview of soon. I'm really looking forward to working with Jake on this game even more, and I'll be back soon with more updates on the music and sound effects. Enjoy the rest of the video, and thanks again to Jake for bringing me on to work on this project.
After implementing the forest track into the game, I got stuck into implementing placeholder sound effects. To achieve this, I used a program called BFXR. After messing around with that for a little while, I had all of the sound effects that I needed for the gameplay, so I imported them into Unity and started expanding on my sound manager in order to get these working. I created an array of audio sources and simply called it SFX. I then wrote a function that would allow me to play any sound effect from that array by passing in its value. That was super simple to get working. And once I was finished that, I jumped into other script and called the play SFX function and passed in the correct value depending on the sound I wanted to play. And that was pretty much it. Before the end of the video, I'd like to say thanks to CornBoy for jumping on this project with me and providing me with some super cool tunes for the game. Be sure to check out his channel and subscribe if you like his content. I'll leave the link to his channel down below. And if you enjoyed this video and want to keep up to date with my progress on Rogue Breakers, feel free to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.